GLP-1 Sabotage Playbook, 15 key changes that will hurt your metabolism and your journey on Zepbound. Hi, beautiful friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 112 pounds. Woo! The last 2 years, 9 months, 2 years, 10 months, almost 3 years of being on Mounjaro and then Zepbound and then Tirzepatide compound GLP-1 plus GIP, not at the same time. And for the last 2 years, 10 months on a GLP-1 journey. And on today's episode, I really want to deep dive into your sabotage, but also your strengths. We're not just going to talk about problems without having solutions with them. And I was reading a science-based article, I will link it down below, called, it was an article from University of Bath talking about playing to your strengths improves your well-being adult ADHD in a new research study. And so within this study, it was talking about ADHD, and I was like, gosh, as I was going through, it was basically saying like the problems with ADHD, which I don't have, but definitely I think do have characteristics. Many of you know I'm like squirrel and can get caught off track, but how people with ADHD can have several challenges of not being able to have focus, that there's challenges of being ADHD and losing attention and things like that. But there's 10 strengths of people with ADHD that have hyperfocus or deep concentration, humor, creativity, spontaneity, intuitiveness. And so there's a lot of these strengths that people with ADHD have, and that people can slam people with ADHD without knowing that there's a lot of superpowers that goes with it. And so it got me thinking about GLP-1, of how we can sabotage our weight loss journey. Been there, done that at Pockets, going from weighing over 300 pounds to now losing 112 pounds. I can recognize some behaviors that definitely sabotaged me over the last almost 3 years on this weight loss journey. And I can also recognize some of my strengths. And I want to focus in on these 15 key characteristics that I've outlined. I will link that ADHD study down below because it's fascinating about how when we hone in what we're good at and on our strengths, because you may not have all 15 of these, but you may have 10 out of 15 or 3 out of 15 and want to start cultivating more strengths. The part of that article said, why are we focusing in on negative things? We're not necessarily going to make those negative things super much better. Like, you could try, but really focusing on making your strengths stronger perhaps may be the better pathway to success. And so that's what I really want to encourage you with these 15 tips of identifying for you what you have, and they may all not be applicable for you. Take what you want, leave the rest. These are what have worked really well for me, and there may be more that I haven't identified. So feel free to put number 16 or number 17, I love bullet points, down in the comments if I missed some. You're gonna wanna stay till number 15 though, it's a doozy. Number 1, you decide. I think one of the biggest things in terms of my weight loss journey is there has to be a calorie deficit in some capacity. And with GLP-1 weight loss, particularly with Zepbound weight loss, very much for me, I had to be in a calorie deficit, whether I was tracking it or not. And that's what I want to encourage you in terms of self-monitoring, is figuring out in some ways whether you track or not, but learning calories, portions, and what I'm putting on my plate, how much those cornerstones in my behavior with my weight loss journey matter. And so you decide. I really do think for a long time I could not track my calories. I now use the free app MyFitnessPal because it's free to track my calories. It does not trigger me the way it used to. I literally had to have a therapist help me not get triggered tracking it. But when I wasn't able to track it, I could tell by my portions, and I could food monitor. So food monitoring or food tracking, whatever makes the best sense for you in terms of your skill set to help develop, cultivate, and to make stronger. And if you are really good at that, honing in on that too to make it even better and more refined. Number 2, figuring out for you what makes the best sense for you, meal prep and or cooking. For me, my cooking methods and the way that I'm consuming my food very well may be different from you. We have a ton of viewers who are from UK, Australia, international viewers. We have India's coming in because they just got Mounjaro. Like a bunch of people are coming in from a lot of places because they're getting access to these drugs now. And so I have children. You may not. You may have grandbabies. You may be single and not married. I'm married and I have kids. That's all going to equate into my meal prep and my cooking, right? We eat out a lot. A lot of people don't eat out at all. And so you figuring out for you what makes the best sense to develop the ability to cook or purchase from somewhere healthy, nutrient-dense meals, to give control over the ingredients, portion sizes, and fat calorie content. Now, ideally cooking from home is the best, but places like Chipotle really do have, in my humble opinion, it's fresher ingredients than what I would have. It's prepared better than what I would have, and it's healthy stuff. So there's certain places eating out, you can't just say across the board that it's all bad, because it's not. That's not true. And I have a ton of videos down on my playlist proving that it's not true. Like Kava, for example, also Chipotle. Like there's some places you can go and get some good, really good stuff. But cultivating that skill set of meal preparation in some genre of getting good at ordering or good at cooking is important. And that goes along, that's why I do pretty much every week a Costco haul or a grocery haul to show what I'm ordering to then be eating within my weight loss journey. That's very much has mattered. Next, I put portion love because it's really portion control, but I'd rather not call it that. To me, that takes me back to being on my first diet in elementary school. Can anyone relate? And having dried chicken with no sauce was disgusting, and being forced to eat it. And I was still hungry afterwards. And it was just, it takes me back to, like, it takes me to those places. Clearly there's some more healing that needs to go with it. So I rather call it portion love. You do whatever you want with your vernacular or words or the way in which you want to label these. You figure out, you do you, boo. But for me, I like portion love because it's portion control, basically. To lose weight, we do have to be in a calorie deficit. And so skillfully estimating or skillfully portioning out to make us in a calorie deficit, whether using a scale, measuring cups, or when we're eating out, also figuring out this portion love, this portion control, that I may have a scale at my home, which I do. We're getting ready to make some healthy Philadelphia cheesesteaks. I'm going to measure out the cheese that's going to go on my cheesesteak because I love cheese and I will overindulge, and that will not put me in a calorie deficit when I'm eating copious amounts of cheese. And so for me, I'm going to measure that out because I have a scale at home. If I was eating out though, I may not be able to easily measure that. Although there's so many things on like MyFitnessPal, it says how much the portions are with this. One of the best things I have done is go with Join Fridays. It's who I get my Tirzepatide compound from, my GLP-1 plus GIP. I was on Zepbound brand name through Join Fridays and have recently transitioned over. And you can use the discount code QUEEN if you're looking to transition over to, if you're on brand name and transitioning over to a compound, GLP-1 plus GIP, or if you're already on Tirzepatide and want to switch to another company. I love Join Fridays because they have dietitian coaching, one-on-one is included in me paying for my medications. It's included in the price point. There's also a ton of other coaching that is included in it, particularly if you're brand new. I was talking with one of our group members in CountessOfShopping.com/group, my free group. It's not on Facebook anymore, my free group, about how they did their, it's basically, if you're like a new beginner, it's encouragement coaching that they have, and how helpful it was talking about this portion control, this portion love section of figuring out for weight loss what's good for you and your macros corresponding to that. Like how much protein should someone have? How much calories should someone have? I highly, highly, highly recommend that because number 4 is nutrition knowledge. And so by me working with the Join Fridays dietitian now twice, it's been awesome. And she's messaged me, you can message back and forth in their portal. It's really, really, really helpful to give me nutrition knowledge. Have I learned a ton? A ton. And she also helped me a lot with lifting too. Highly recommend, highly, highly, highly recommend. So you can go down in the description link below with Join Fridays, use the discount code QUEEN. You can use my code to save extra money on it. For me switching over, I have loved switching over. I will go into more depth about that whole situation though. There was a little snafu on my end, not on theirs, with my GLP-1 plus GIP, the Tirzepatide compound. I'll talk about that in another video, but I've been with Join Fridays now. It's officially been 2 years. I was one of the OGs with them from like the very, very beginning. So I stay with them now because it wasn't just about the medication component, it's about things like nutrition knowledge to help learn to read labels. Like when we're talking about protein, what does that mean? The calories, what does that mean? When I'm looking at these things, what does that mean in terms of my weight loss journey and how that can be applicable with the macronutrients? Substituting high calorie foods with lower calorie alternatives, that's been really helpful. But learning this knowledge is a skill set that used to sabotage me on my weight loss journey. Anybody else relate? That sabotage of not knowing or being frozen of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to eat. And then when I get really, really hungry, eating copious amounts of the quote wrong choices. I don't like saying good foods, bad foods, because food is not, there's not a moral compass with food. It just is. It could be better choices as a better way, and the way I like to phrase things, better choices within my nutrition knowledge. And so that's taken me time. I did not learn that my first year at all. It was literally just putting my fork down and recognizing body symbols for when I got full. Like, okay, I'm full, I'm gonna put my fork down. Oh, I'm hungry, I'm gonna put the fork down. Like that for me is where it started, and now it's this evolution. And so that's what I'm saying with some of these sabotage. I didn't even know I was sabotaging. It was unconscious sabotage with some of the nutrition stuff that now I've learned, and I'm like, oh, it makes me better, faster, stronger when I eat certain foods, and it's much more helpful on my strengths column for my weight loss journey. Now, number 5, activity planning. So creating a sustainable exercise plan. I talked in a couple videos ago, or yesterday's video, I'm not sure when the video sequence is coming out, but I talked in a video about, it's called exercise snacks. And the whole premise of the video was talking about 2 to 5 minute bursts of really rigorous exercise. Doing that, or actively planning an exercise plan, tracking your activity, and finding ways to integrate more physical activity into our lives. How can we be more physically fit? Because Eli Lilly tells us in the literature, we have to change our physical activity. We have to. And so for you, that's going to vary by person. You do you. I love it. Someone in our group, in the free encouragement group, loves to tap dance, and that makes my heart so happy. Someone loves to do Pilates. Someone else loves to go swimming. I love to work out from home. Like literally, we have a home gym. I don't like leaving my house. I like walking around my neighborhood. I like lifting weights. Like I like stuff like that. That for me, I do like Pilates if I go to a studio, but it's hard with my schedule. So finding things for you within that activity planning that make sense, that you enjoy. See, the hinge pin for a lot of these, my friends, that you may not have thought about is you may not like these. And if you don't like it, guess what? You're not going to keep doing it. So finding out of these strengths, again, you may not have all of them, cultivating some that make the best sense for you that you also enjoy. There's a time to grit and like buck in, and then there's a time also to be like, okay, I'm leaning in, as opposed to like this, it's like leaning into what I'm naturally good at. So number 6, stimulus control. These are behavior skills. So talking and identifying about cues that trigger you. Bum, 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 keeping tempting foods out of the house. We don't really have tempting foods in our house. I just brought in, I shared this before, frozen cookies that when I was on HSN, there was the today's special, these frozen cookies, and we're gonna use them for Christmas to bake them. And I bought little bakery boxes for my kid because they're frozen. I made one cookie one night for my kid, one for me, and then one for my kid's lunch the next day. And then the other one I was gonna give to my husband, but Wilma's hair was in it. So I threw it away. But having these frozen cookies for me, usually the stimulus controls, I don't keep sweets in the house. So this is kind of new, but normally we don't. Like if we have ice cream, we don't keep ice cream in the house. You know why? I eat all the ice cream. So we just go out for ice cream. If we're gonna have ice cream, great. We love dessert. We will go out for it. So knowing the tempting foods, what works for you in that, eating only while at the kitchen table or the dining room table, not eating while watching TV. I'm not the best at this one. I like to eat my lunch in front of the TV, which it's something I'm working on. And I also make my kid not eat in front of the TV, but he definitely also does too because mom does. Well, mom does. I don't like that. I passed on a lot of amazing habits to my kid. That one I'm like, oh, mom fail. I'm still working on it. I'm a work in progress. But this is what I was saying. It's progress, not perfection. I'm not going to nail all of these 15 ones, but I'm going to try. I'm certainly going to try. Number 7, this is one that I've worked so hard at. Can you identify ones that you've worked so hard at? For me, mindful eating. Eating slowly and paying attention to hunger cues and fullness cues. That is being mindful. Oh, my body's hungry. I need to go eat. Oh, my body's full. I need to stop eating. Like that's mindful eating. Also with the satiety of it, focusing on food without distractions. Like I just said, I'm not really that great at that, but I really do like to be when I do eat, like for example, we're gonna make Philly cheesesteaks, healthier ones. I'm going to savor that. I'm going to enjoy that. I am going to, like, I'm really looking forward to it. I got my chopper to put in there. I'm gonna chop up all of my like mushrooms and I'm gonna put onions with it and peppers and it's gonna be really, really good. I've got delicious Kerrygold cheese. I'm gonna portion it out. But while I'm eating it, I'm gonna be savoring it and focusing in on the word savor for me. I had a therapist tell me this once. Savor is a key word that you can use in mindfulness to help recenter. And I'm like, that is such a good, I like that. And I've leaned into that, savoring my food. It reframes everything, right? Number 8. Goal setting. Y'all know I love me some goal setting. If you didn't see my goal setting live stream at the beginning of October, I'll be doing it again in November. We're talking about goal setting smart. Specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time boundary goals. I did a whole video on all that, so I'm not going to repeat it in this video because it's a bulk topic. And that is just a video on its own, it's goal setting. But getting good at behavior goals versus weight outcome goals. I can't control the outcome. I wish I could, but I can't. I can control my input to it. How many times have I worked out? How many times have I, how many days have I stayed within a calorie deficit? Like some of these things, I am within that control. But some of these things, the output of it, does the scale move? Do I get a certain result from things? I got to release that. For me, I choose to give that to God and give that over. What I've got to focus in on is doing the effort behind it. I've got to do the work. Right? And so that's where it's this like push-pull of it, of focusing in on the process, focusing on the behaviors. Behavior change is hard. Like, it's hard. It takes 21 days to make a habit. It's a long time. And for some habits, it's even more than that. So goal setting to help set us up for success with changing those behaviors is the first way that we can shoot an arrow. If you're trying to do archery, for example, to pull back and shoot against where the targets, you need to have a target where the arrow can go. That's why we do goal setting. Number 7. We already said number 7 was back on plan. Okay, so there is strategies to recognize when you're going off the rails. I've had this. For me, and I can't say everyone has had that because making a superlative of everyone, always, not everyone has this. I have. With the type of obesity, food perspective, propensity to love eating in a copious amounts of times per day, getting off track and getting off the plan has happened for me, even on GLP-1 medication. I wish I could say that it was all been rainbows and butterflies the last almost 3 years, but it's not. There have been pockets of where I actually have tried to binge eat at nighttime. It didn't go well. I had blowout diarrhea shortly afterwards. I didn't like that feeling, but also even just making choices that weren't the best of nutrition. And sometimes, by the way, getting off plan doesn't mean that it's like a quote bad thing. Again, I don't like saying good or bad, but getting off plan sometimes could just simply be because of a vacation or a birthday. When I go on vacation, we're going to Disney here soon. When I go to Disney, I am going to eat whatever I wish. Just be clear, I'm at Disney. I have worked really hard. I'm working really hard right now. So when I go to Disney, I can eat basically what I want because I'm on vacation. Is that every day? No. Do I know I'm going to probably gain a pound or 2? Yes, but also we're going to be walking a ton, so maybe I won't gain a pound or 2. Last time we came back from Disney, I don't think I gained any weight. And the time before that, I don't think I gained any weight either. So getting back on plan for me is like, that's where GLP-1 helps to scoop in to help with this. I don't think that it's a bad thing, and I've shared about this in other videos, to have a mental reprieve from doing all of this. For me. Now for you, your personality style, maybe I gotta be rigid, I gotta be stone cold Steve Austin. For me, I gotta have a mental reprieve every now and then. Not often, but every, like a vacation, a birthday, and then get right back on. But so recognizing when old habits come in and swooping back in to get on these new habits, because it is, making behavior changes is difficult. Motivation, your why, clearly defining your deeply personal reasons for losing weight beyond just the number of the scale to maintain the long-term commitment. I love talking about how I ride horses right now because I lost weight. You know why I like to ride horses right now? I don't think I've shared this. It may make me cry. It's my mom. I take my mom with me. because I know my mom likes to ride horses. And so to be able to do that with my mom means a lot to me. We did adult horse camp. The other times that we've gone, like we've gone to ranches and stuff to go horseback riding, but a couple of other times too. But specifically for the horse camp and where I'm in like English riding gear, it's because I've taken my mom. That's been my gift to her. And that's made me feel really, really good. And that's motivation for me. I want to get on a horse. I want to get on a horse with my mom. And to be out there on that trail ride behind me in this picture is the Appalachian Mountains. And we went on a trail ride, both of us on our horses at this horse camp with other adults. And I'm on this beautiful horse. She's amazing, Clydesdale. And to ride up that and look back at my mom on her horse, and she's in her 70s, to be on, is she in her 70s? Yeah, she's in her 70s. To be on a horse like with her, that is very motivating to me. Being a good mom, because I physically can be because of my weight loss, deeply personal. Like, if it doesn't choke you up, and you guys know I'm somewhat of a crier, so I cry a lot, and that's okay, because that's the way God made me. But deeply personal to you. I'm not asking for you to have a visceral reaction like I'm having, but where it means something. And I think about that when I do kind of get off track, or when I'm like, I really don't want to work out today. Yeah, I do. I got to lean into that motivation, because I still have to do stuff even when I'm not motivated. Am I motivated every day? No. Do I have a daily show where I talk about weight loss every day? Yes. Am I motivated every day? No. But I do it anyway. And that's what I want to encourage you, is sometimes you won't have the motivation. Hopefully you can lean into what your deeply personal rooting is, but sometimes you're not going to have that, has been my experience. It's not all been rainbows and butterflies. And so simply sometimes just doing it. Okay, number 11, routines and habits, establishing consistent patterns for meals, snacks. Let me zoom in on that one. Meals, snacks, and physical activity that they become automatic. When we have systems in place, we'll do them automatically. It's the muscle memory. I've talked about this before, of how I used to grab for stuff all the time. When I quit smoking, I smoked for a long time, y'all. I used to love to smoke. Whew. If it wasn't killing me, I would have still smoked. It was because I wanted to have kids that I stopped smoking. But after I stopped smoking, I continuously grabbed from my pack of Marlboro Lights on my car side, passenger side. I would still grab for it after I stopped smoking. And I'm like, what am I grabbing for? There's nothing to grab here. So I would grab for water, ice, lollipops. Like this was way before, like I had kids now over a decade ago. And so this was a long time ago I quit smoking. But I'm saying that in terms of, it was self-automatic grabbing. That was the negative kind. Flip the script on that, of your routines and habits are going to carry you through when you don't have sometimes just the bandwidth to do it, that you'll naturally just go do it. My hot husband every day eats oatmeal with a ton of fruit in it. Super, super healthy, low calorie. He loves it. He'll put things like walnuts in it. You can put protein powder if you wish. It's awesome. It's healthy. He does it every single day. It is his habit and his routine. It keeps, for him, my husband's got like a 6-pack. He's jacked. He's so hot. Anyways, the routine, and I got to see the ADHD that I was talking about in that article. Squirrel. Let's get back on track. The habits and the routines, that's what's going to push you through when you don't necessarily have the focus every day or the motivation. What habits do you need to create within your weight loss that are going to help sustain them? Number 12. This one's for me because I'm horrible at it. Patience. Don't pray for patience, because you're going to practice getting a lot of it, or being able to practice having patience. Patience and realistic expectations. Weight loss is slow when it's not a linear journey. Losing 1 to 2 pounds per week is what the healthcare providers tell us. I'm not a healthcare provider. None of this is medical advice. Always talk to your own healthcare provider. Weight loss is slow. Aiming for a sustainable rate is realistic. Are you being realistic, or are you being unrealistic? People come in and like, I've only lost 4 pounds this month. I'm like, babes, we'll lose 1 to 2 pounds per week. In a month, 1 pound times 4 weeks is 4 pounds. That is realistic. So 4 to 8 pounds per month is realistic, right? And even for me now, that at the journey where I am, well, basically I'm at maintenance. If it's a half a pound a week, that's still exciting for me. That's still awesome. And so I want to encourage you with that. Do you think you're having realistic expectations? It's interesting to me, my free encouragement group of the expectations of what newbies that come in. I love seeing it. It's one of my favorite things. If you're new, make sure you sign up for the free encouragement group. And if you're not new, make sure you go check in and just check in with the group too. People will rah. It's a good high five place to be like, yes, slay, I did X, Y, and Z. Or if you're having a challenge, to help with it. But it's always interesting to me to see people's expectations when they start GLP-1 journey. Are they realistic? Are they patient? Have you talked to your healthcare provider about that? Because sometimes people, it's very unrealistic, right? And so we want to lean into these things that can either sabotage us or help aid us on our weight loss journey. Is it helping push you forward, or is it holding you back? Number 13, stress management, stress management, and emotion management. I also struggle with this frequently. It's a pattern, talking about pattern recognition. Pattern recognition for me, frequently with my stress management, is learning non-food related coping mechanisms to deal with stress, anxiety, or other emotions that trigger emotional impulsive eating for me. I've gotten so much better with this, so much better with this. I continue to work on it. I continue to go around the same mountain about stress management and emotion management. Just was talking to the account today. We have a big project that's coming up. It was due literally this afternoon. I was unhinged with this deadline for this project. Unhinged. And my hot husband is like, because we work together, was like, you have got to calm down your stress. Like you have got to figure out a technique right now to take the temperature down. He's like, your stress is coming at me. And I'm like, he's right. And my emotional management was not of an adult. It's like, the camera's not on me now. If it was, it'd be so embarrassing if people had heard the way I was behaving and the emotion, it's just not, that's old tape stuff, old behaviors. And so, like I said, this is not a straight journey of learning all of these habits that help push us forward, the strengths, or hold us back with sabotage. This one for me is I have to work hard at it. It's not a strength. It used to be a weakness. It's not a weakness anymore, but I'm really working on it. Stress and emotion management. And I take a lot on my plate. I do. I openly admit that. I have very high standards for myself, and I have very high goals on where I want to take my life. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, and I don't apologize for that, for being a high functioning adult. That's the way I want to live my life. You do you, but for me, but what comes with that is this tailwind behind it of stress management and emotional management that I am continuing to work on. Anyone else relate? And that's okay. I have also recognized, that's okay too. Also God's made me to be able to juggle a bunch of stuff, and that's okay as well. Number 14. Is that a cop-out? I'm like, is that a cop-out, me just saying? I'm going to talk to my therapist about that, actually. Number 14, positive self-talk. Are we having self-compassion, self-talk, forgiving yourselves for setbacks, avoiding an all-or-nothing mentality, and focusing on health-oriented mindset rather than a rigid dieting? When people come at me rigid, I don't hate anything, but I really dislike it. Someone said the other day, they said, you have diet culture. And I said, I rebuke that. Block. I rebuke that. I am not diet culture. I've worked so hard to not be diet culture, and also because of my positive self-talk and my positive self-compassion. Back in the day, I did have diet culture. I subscribed to that. I licked the stamp and put it on the postcard for diet culture. Like head of the fan club of diet culture. I have worked so hard to not be diet culture. So hard. And so that positive self-talk, that loving, kind, grace, kind, love, and compassion that I can give so freely to others, I've really had to work hard to give it to myself, but I've gotten pretty good at it. That self-compassion, today when I made the oopsie poopsie with my stress management, the self-talk afterwards was so positive. Of when I was in it, it was not great. It was not great. But afterwards, now I'm like, okay, here's the positive self-talk of I'm going to use that as a learning lesson. I can use that to my advantage next time because I'm going to get stressed later on of how I can better do X, Y, and Z. How I can better control my thoughts. I could have gone out for a walk for 5 minutes just to take the temperature down. I could have gotten a cup of water because water does help us calm things down. I could have focused in on my breath, but it was positive self-talk associated with it. And it's interesting. It's interesting to me. I've worked really, really hard on this one. And I think I've done a pretty good job because I have a therapist who doesn't let me get away with mean self-talk. She cuts me right off and is like, slice that. The tongue is our sword. Okay, number 15, problem solving. The ability to anticipate and plan for challenging situations like holidays, eating out, travel, stressful work weeks, and maintain adherence to our plan. I'm still working on this one. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it, but the holidays, we're going to talk more about this because we're getting almost near that season. Y'all know for me, hello, I got my Christmas tree back here. Like I've already started decorating. I've already started playing Christmas music. I love the holidays. It truly is. And I love all, not just like Christmas, like if you're Jewish, if you're whatever your religion or not religion is, either or, like whatever. I love this season. It's a beautiful time between now and January 1st. After January 2nd, I'm like, but now I like love this season. It makes me so happy. And so for me, the holidays every year has somewhat is challenging with food. And in GLP-1, this will be my third, fourth? No, it'll be my third, fourth? I always get confused. I started in January, so it was after. So it will be my third year in January. Do the math for me. Will it be my third holiday season or my second? I think it'll be my third. Yeah, it's my third. It's my third holiday season. All that to say that it's gotten easier because of GLP-1 medication, for sure. Zepbound, Mounjaro, Tirzepatide compound has made this game over the years so much better. But definitely, I've had to put work in at the holidays. And so I'm curious, we'll talk more about that later. But for me, problem solving, ability to anticipate and problem solve to maintain adherence to our plan. It's a lot, right? I feel like I could have done a part 2 on this. And I happily will if you want a part 2 on this. I'm dying to know, where are your strengths? And where do you find that you sabotage yourself within those? I've identified some of mine for both. Sorry, my lips are so chapped. Virginia is very dry right now. I've been lathering on the moisturizer because my skin just feels dry, like a lizard. Hold on, I'm gonna get a little hand cream on here. So I wanna know in the comments, tell me down below in the comments, what are your strengths and what are your sabotage? And what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? I'd like to know. Our emoji of the day is gonna be a pumpkin. Did you guys see the count changed my lights to make them for Halloween with the, if you're watching this in July, I'm filming this near Halloween, for the red or the orange and purple for Halloween. And that's so sweet. I do emojis of the day, which is a pumpkin, to get to know you better because I care. And pattern recognition of seeing your name over and over helps me. You're a bestie. And if you've made it this far, you probably vibe with my content and we're besties. And that's how I know everybody in the comments when we have these chit chats back and forth. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's literally because of the comments. So comment a pumpkin. If you want to comment more, feel free. If you don't, great. I love reading comments that are bullet points. If it's a long paragraph, I have a really, really hard time with it. So if you want me to actually read it, make it bullet points, short and concise. But our emoji of the day is a pumpkin. It's also my bat signal to pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, uplift you in positive thoughts. All are welcome at the Countess of Shopping table. And if you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you in positive thought. Particularly in these times, man, lots going on. We need more love, kindness in the midst of it feeling not loving and kind, which is hard for me to do. And I am working on that too. How do you act loving and kind when it doesn't quite feel that way while doing all these other things that I just mentioned? All 15 of these. It's a lot. It's a lot. But that's, I feel like, how we become better human beings. So let's try. That's all we can do today is try, because we control the input. We can't control the output, but we can control the input. My beautiful friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping, count our blessings, because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye. Love you.